It was a very loving family. We still are a very loving family. Curiously, we all live within about a 20-minute radius of each other still. So I think that for me, that's been one of the most protective factors in my life. And my dad was a Maris brother until the age of about 33 when he left the Brotherhood. So very much a church-based family, Catholic church. And I do remember one moment, and I'm probably about 16, and I'm sitting in church, and I'm sort of sitting there just having this realization, oh, I'm that dirty thing that is called homosexual. And that sort of event or that realization sort of stands alone in my memory. And I don't really do anything with it for a while. I continue to be me. It's certainly generated internalized homophobia. It's certainly generated a fear associated with what would happen if Dad found out. Growing up as knowing that I was same-sex attracted and not necessarily being out to people that could protect me and could assist me and help me certainly led to dark times. I think that the internalized element of my homophobia, the connection to I'm bad, because that was the message that I was getting from so many different places, really did attack my sense of self as a good, happy person. It doesn't really come up again at a family level, my sexuality, until I'm about 18 and I'm moving out of home. And on the night that I'm moving out of home, my mum says to me something to the effect of, you know, where are you going out, or things of these natures. And I told her that I was going to the gay club in Perth. And she sort of stopped me and said, so are you telling me that you're bisexual? And I said, no, Mum, I'm telling you that I'm gay. And she just sort of stood there for a minute, and I think she always knew. You know, I don't think it was a surprise to any of my family, actually. But I think it was that realization, and it was just so, I was just so direct with it. So she did say to me, I love you and I accept you. I want you to be happy. That's the most important thing for me, is that you're happy. And she followed that up with, but I'd really ask, please don't tell your father. That was kind of protective in one way, because it gave me permission to not tell him, and I wasn't ready to tell him. But it also then did make it quite difficult for me, once I started to become ready within the next 4 or 5 years, how to tell him, what to do. I think one of the biggest things that was difficult for me to come to terms with when I was thinking about telling my dad about me being gay was, what would he think of me? You know, what would he see me as lesser of a man? Would he visualize what I do sexually? Would that be distressing for him? Would it change how he then thought about me from that point on? So I, you know, booked a meeting with him basically, and we met at the breakfast bar of the family home, and I said to him, Dad, I've got things to tell you, and you're not to interrupt me until I've finished. He agreed, and sort of sitting there wide-eyed, and I basically told him that I was gay and that I was in a relationship. The first thing he said to me was, I wish you'd never told me that. And I just sat there and I said to him, I needed to tell you that for me. It was for him, I think, again, that fear that happens for parents. Why is my child different, is what I imagine he's thinking. And again, my response to that is, we're all different. We had quite a long chat at that point in time, and upshot was, I'm not happy with what you're doing, but I love you as my son, and I will always love you as my son. That's the protective factor in my family. It's love, you know, and I know that's cliched at some level, but it's also really true. So I think that it allowed me to be me, and that was the most important thing that my family could have done, is to just back me as a person. I very much believe that he is proud of me, and he's proud of me because I'm Matt. And the fact that I'm gay is sort of something else. It doesn't really feature in my life. He's proud of my achievements, he's proud of my values and attitudes, he's proud of the way I handle myself and conduct myself. I think families have a really privileged role in assisting a young person to navigate their way through their choices and their understanding. And you know, choice for me is such a value-laden word, because as a gay man, haven't made a choice to be gay. I've made a choice to be comfortable with being gay. And I think that the the element of that a family can offer or a support structure can offer is vital. They are able to not only reiterate a message of acceptance and of value for that person, but they can also do practical things like make sure that the young person has access to information, that that there's an opportunity to have those discussions. I think that support can also look like actually reaching out to people and going and getting a hug and sitting with someone where you might shed a few tears and having someone there to lean on physically, literally lean on. And being close to people is really a valuable part of actually adapting to anything that may be causing distress. We can't measure the impact that has. And for a parent to be able to do that, or a family member to be able to offer that, I think just cuts through all of the negativity